Hello, welcome. Right, hang on, let me just sort this out. This is one of those live, unpolished, unpolished rambles that I like to do every now and then. So I haven't even got the. I was going to do what's it called? The logo bit, but I've realised that the button I pressed is over there, and I've forgotten to put the extension on it. But anyway, let's just make sure we're all on. All the best for 2020 on and beyond, Steve. A toast to your channel, going from strength to strength. Thanks, Gary. Thanks very much. So I'll start this by saying Happy New Year. Let's just double check that people can hear me. I haven't put any notice on this. There's going to be no one here live, hardly, but there you go. But we are going, I think. Happy New Year, everyone. I didn't do much on the lead up to this. Happy New Year to you. Yay! Morning, Paul. Morning, Colin. Lakers' favourite magic YouTuber. Yay! Thanks a lot. So this is, like I say, it's going to be a bit of a ramble, a bit of a hello, but I have got a little bit of a kind of New Year's resolution, which these are what should be your New Year's resolutions. That's what we're going to do today. How do you become a better magician in 2021? And of course, I'll be sort of talking about things I always talk about, things that mean a lot to me and I think can make a huge change in our community and in all of our communities, really. But I just want to say thank you so much for your support. This year has been a challenge, has it not? For every single person on this planet in some way. Yes, there are the odd person who says, oh, I love lockdown, and even those people are starting to go, oh, I don't like it anymore. So it's a challenge for different reasons, different people. You know, some it's worse than others, but I think it's important to honour our own challenges, even though we may look at other people and go, well, they've got it worse. It's still to accept that we're challenging, because if we accept it, then we can do something about it and work the best way we can. For performance, it's obviously been very, very difficult and continues to be and will be, but people are adapting. And we'll talk about a little bit of that in a minute. And I've found it really hard. I'm really missing my audiences. I'm really struggling with the fact that, you know, when I perform on Zoom, it's not at the level I'm used to performing at. I'm still feeling my way. There's an excitement to that. And there's kind of something nice about you know, looking at our flaws and all leveling ourselves out like that again, but there is also challenges with that, and some of those challenges will stop people from moving on, and the fear of the unknown has been hard for some of us. So it just, you know, it's been really important to me to check in. I've been making sometimes less videos because of family commitments, because of obviously when the kids are maybe back home from school again soon. And people have been really supportive. You know, I hear a lot of people talking about haters on YouTube and why there's so many haters. And there really isn't on this channel. Yes, you get the odd person coming in and trying to stir it up a little bit, but not really. This is a really lovely community, and I'm really proud of you people for being so nice and kind and compassionate and understanding that, you know, sometimes it is a bit all over the place, the channel, and your acceptance of that. And there is very, very few negative comments. I'm not saying that to big myself up. I'm kind of saying that to big you up, really, and say thank you again for that. It's been a challenge in a way that, you know, when lockdown first happened, there was part of me that thought, great, everybody's going to want to see the channel because people are going to be at home. And then, of course, every magician in the world went online, which is great, which is a really good thing. But there's more competition. There's more stuff to watch. And I found it really hard to know what to watch. You know, there's great stuff going on. There's the Vanishing Ink stuff. There's the Ben L stuff. There's everybody doing like one-off things. There's non-magic stuff that I really want to be engaged with as well, like different communities coming up, different courses that I want to take, different things I'm learning, and it can be really, really overwhelming. So even if I get 3 people watching this, you know, I never underestimate that. And if you are someone that wants to start doing stuff online, one of the big things. We'll start with that, okay? We'll start with, I've written some things down here, which for me, you know, are my things that I want to take into 2021 to be the best magician I can. So see them as New Year's resolutions for me and maybe advice to you. You don't take advice from anybody as gospel, by the way, but here it is. Let's just check in first. Looking nice and fresh. Thanks, John. Yeah, I got up super early and did some yoga this morning, so I feel really good. 5:30. I'm going to sleep by 3, but there you go. Happy New Year, John. Yeah, thank you, everyone. I'm a card guy. Should I buy Steve Drawn's book, Boy Who Cried Magic, or the Books of Wonder? I haven't read Steve Drawn's book, Boy Who Cried Magic, Books of Wonder. Even Andy would say the Books of Wonder are, you know, classic books. The Books of Wonder have got everything. They've got the essays. What they've got less of, actually, when I was a beginner, and you're not a beginner, you're saying you're a card guy, Books of Wonder was a bit, they're the cups, they had all different stuff, and I wanted to learn a few card tricks or learn some sleights, and that there was sleights in there, but there was more in there. I would say, as a double set, they're classics. I'd say they're some of the best books in the world, card magic books in the world. But if you want just a 10 or whatever it is, 15 solid tricks to do with cards, Andy's book's great. You can't really compare the two. They're really, they're different things, very different things. You know, Tommy Wonder's got all the essays in it, which are brilliant as well. But that's answer to your question. Yeah, the Books of Wonder, I mean, you know, they're stunning. So here's my first one. My first, going into 2020, is be fearless. All right. Now, fear is very important. I don't mean be fearless in a way that, you know, you've got to care about other people and you can't. But be fearless in the way that, you know, don't listen to those thoughts that stop you doing what you want to do. And this is a big one for me. I get super nervous about doing stuff. I put off performing on Zoom or performing online for a long time because I was scared. You know, to be totally honest, I was scared of looking rubbish. I was scared of my tricks not working. I was scared of a new environment, and I was scared of not feeling the energy from the audience. I didn't know what I was doing. I was vulnerable, and it was a really unusual place for me. On stage, usually I feel completely in control. Not always, but most of the time. I can walk on stage. Yes, I get nervous, but I never get like, oh God. You know, when I did my first couple of Zoom shows, I was terrified, and I didn't do it for a long time because I told myself stories. I said I don't need to do it. That's not what I'm going to do. I'm a live performer, and yes, all those things are great, but we work with what we've got, and what we've got is this at the moment. And I think, you know, every time I do a live video like this, I get nervous. Sometimes I don't want to do it. Sometimes I put it off. Sometimes I think, no, I can't do it. But it's not listening to those thoughts. And there's a really lovely thing that I've been trying to do with a lot of my work, really. I make Facebook videos every day, is to, before I do them, 10, 20 minutes before I do them, every thought that comes into my head, I just dismiss it straight away. It's like a cut off. It's like you're just snipping that thought. You start thinking, oh, and all the negative thoughts come in, and you just stop them because you've made that commitment to do what you're going to do, and you go into it and accept what happens. And what happens, maybe that it doesn't go so well. Maybe, you know, I make this video and you all think it's rubbish. There's a possibility of that. Of course, I'm not that arrogant. And I think just to do what you do, and as long as you're doing it with your own values and you've put the work in beforehand, I think that's really important. And that putting the work in beforehand is important as well. If you've done that, then you've got no reason to, you know, you've made the commitment to do it. You can't control that now. You know, you've got the gig or you've got the booking, you've told your friends you're going to show them some tricks on Zoom. Just do it, enjoy it. And if it goes wrong, enjoy that as well. I did Wiki Test 3 times in my remote show, once in front of like 300 or 400 people on a conference, and completely nosed it up. Completely my fault. It wasn't the fault of the trick itself. I did something wrong, and it meant that something didn't work, and I learned from that experience and moved on, and then it went wrong again for the same reason, because I had a brain melt and did the same thing, but I had a backup then, so you learn from those experiences of things that don't quite right. And you know what, if you've got humility and compassion, and you're not arrogant about it, if things go wrong, people will love you for it. They won't criticise and condemn you. Number 2. So that's be fearless. Try and stop your thoughts. Okay, try not to accept the fear, welcome it in, be with it. Don't fight it because it's going to be there, but know what it is and know that it's basically fear of nothing. Number 2. Actually, I'm going to use that to the next one. Concentrate only of what's in your control. Concentrate on only what's in your control. Only the thing. I did a thing for Vanishing Ink, a blog recently about this. It's kind of about goal setting, but looking at the things that you can do something about. What we tend to do is we worry about things that we can't control about, and if we can learn to kind of categorize those worries as we're still going to worry about them, but understand that, you know, I've got this thing coming up, I'm really worried about it, I'm scared about it, I'm nervous about it, but understand you've made that commitment. It's the same as the first one, but it's a different thing, really. It's be fearless is one thing. concentrate only on the things you can do something about is a different thing. And what I would do sometimes, if you have got a lot of things on your mind, and this isn't just about magic, this is about everything, write them all down, put a circle around the ones you know you can or decide to do something about, and just eradicate the other ones. And by doing it physically on a bit of paper, what happens is you've got the things you can do something about, and then you put your time into them and don't waste your time not being proactive about the other things. So it's a good proactivity exercise. It actually comes from Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. He talks about this. He goes, if you can actually make that decision to go, what can I change here? And with my magic, it's a lot of that. A lot of that in it, you know, like I'm working on so many different things and I worry I've got too much things to do, and then I kind of go, right, I kind of want to work on this, I write them down. I go, well, that's in 8 months' time. I'm not going to think about that. I'm going to just think about these things now. These are the things I can do something about. And again, looking at the situation at the moment, there's no point in worrying that I've got any gigs, you know, out there. There's no point in worrying that I'm not going to have an audience for too much. There's no point, because I'm not going to. It's the same for everybody. So that worry is completely unfounded. So I'll care about it, but I won't put any energy into worrying about that. So I'll just write that down. I haven't got a gig for 3 months, you know, can't do anything about that. But one of my worries is that I'm not earning enough money, so I can do something about that. You know, I can do Zoom gigs, I can work on the card magic course, I can work on marketing. So that, again, siphons that energy going forward. So if you find yourself worrying about something you literally can't change, there's no point. Do the work is number 3. So do the work is a difficult one for me. I love the idea of sitting with a magic book. It feels like fun to me, but sometimes when I do it, I don't want to do it. It feels like work, and sometimes that can put me off of it. Now, it depends what state of mind you're in. Sometimes you get certain books, you sit there for hours, it's great, you're in flow, everything's wonderful. Sometimes you sit there and it's like trudging through treacle. Sometimes if I've got to learn a trick for review, I won't enjoy if it's not the sort of trick I enjoy learning anyway, because obviously I review all different types of things, I won't enjoy that process. But what I will do is I'll enjoy the result of it. So you have to sometimes go through this pain barrier. It's like I was learning a tune on the guitar last night, getting so frustrated. I wasn't moving forward. I was completely plateauing on this thing. I was getting so wound up with this tune that there was no joy in that, nothing. But I knew that if I just did the work and treated it like, just get through this, you then get to the next stage, which is kind of, you can then feel the trick and you can start enjoying it again. And I think that to create a routine of work as well, to understand that you know, whether you feel like it or not, to sit down with a deck of cards for half an hour a day. And sometimes I feel like it, sometimes I don't. I love doing it most of the time, but sometimes if there's stuff going on, I just want to sit and watch Netflix. But if I do half an hour's practice just to keep my fingers moving and then watch Netflix, it kind of feels like I've deserved that. I know it's not much, but it's something. So understand that if you do the work, you will get the results. If there's stuff you've been putting off, but because again you're scared or something like that, or it's like me, it's writing a blog is like pulling teeth. I despise the process, but then I like the end result. So if you writing a show, understand that it's not all going to be fun. Okay, the work bit is work, but that will make you a better magician. Okay, always question advice. This is a big one. I've talked about this a lot. I've taken advice of people that were all very well-meaning, that hasn't worked for me, and kind of found out too late that it doesn't work for me, and it's taken years of going around the houses to find out what I do as a magician, as a performer. How do I perform? There are a lot of people giving advice. There are a lot of people completely unqualified to give advice. I get so annoyed when I see people, and again I try not to make it affect me, when I see people on Facebook and in the forums saying, you should do this, you shouldn't do that, you should learn this trick, you shouldn't do self-working tricks, you should do this, it's irrelevant, okay? If you do something and an audience member enjoys it, that's all that matters. If you do something and you enjoy it, that's all that matters. Sometimes even if the audience member doesn't enjoy it, I'm joking in a performance situation, but it's just about finding what works for you. If you do something and it makes you happy, that is all that matters. That's it, okay? That's all we've got. We get put on this earth for a certain amount of time and then we're done, all right? So it's about finding what makes us happy, not short-term pleasure, but long-term happiness. Do we enjoy sitting with friends doing self-working card tricks? Yes, I do. So great, do that. You know, do you enjoy doing things with objects that look like magic objects and they don't look like anything natural? Do you enjoy it? Brilliant. Do they enjoy it? Yes, probably. So there you go. It doesn't matter. Magic doesn't have to be with everyday objects. It can be whatever you want it to be. I would say as long as you're doing it with good intention, in a giving way, you're trying to give them an experience, it's not just about you and the ego and all that kind of stuff, then I think you're on a winner. Don't take advice. Don't take advice from me. If you think I'm talking nonsense, don't run with it, okay? But just take it in, listen, have an open mind, but be prepared to argue, even with your heroes, even with those people that are qualified to do it. They sometimes have they don't understand that your life is very different, your friends are different, your community is different, the people around you are different. Than something that they may have never experienced. So you can't take what they give, you can't take advice from someone in 1927 because it's not 1927 anymore, it's a different world. So for ages I would think, magic with apps is terrible because people I love and admire say that magic with apps is terrible, app magic, phone magic, and now I think actually some of it's phenomenal. I'm getting some great results with it. So sit with what you think is right and have faith in that. You are the judge of what you like. So that's that one. Be flexible. Number 5, I think it's number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Be flexible is going back to what I said before about doing Zoom magic. It's knowing that you will question yourself through fear. You'll question yourself through maybe trying things that you don't like. But just experiment, be an explorer, okay? Go into things with a sense of play, all right? Because it doesn't matter if it doesn't work out. That's the thing. If you try something that doesn't work out, it just doesn't work out. Fine, we do something else. And flexibility is when I teach leadership, one of the things in leaders that is really important is flexibility. It's not saying, right, we've chosen to do it this way, and even if it doesn't work, we're just going to keep doing it until it works. Sometimes that can be admirable, don't get me wrong, you've got to try it, but when it becomes obvious something isn't going to work out, then you've got to quit it. I did this routine for years, this Conan ball routine, and I tried to even revive it about a year ago and sent it to a few people with the multiplying balls, and as magically and skill-wise, it was lovely and I loved doing it. But it just wasn't really me, and I worked on this thing for years and years. I taped my fingers together to get the Conan ball, and maybe I'll do something with it one day still that will be more in line with me. But I had to kill my darlings and say, look, it's just not going to work. I'm wasting time on this thing. It's not going to fit in anywhere. And even though I did perform it, I just couldn't get it running. So the flexibility is to accept sometimes when you go, that's not working, let's try this. Or to go, oh, that shouldn't work, but I'll try it anyway. And then you might find something in it. So flexibility, go with it, play, pick up props you wouldn't usually pick up. If you're just a card man, try coins. If you're just coins, try different things. And you might find something in there that really fits in your show or your act and gives it variety. And the last one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is number 6. And this is a big one. And this is something I think could change the face of magic. Nobody will do it. No, that's a lie, actually. A lot of people already do it. But I just think it would be so lovely. Don't criticise, condemn, or complain. There's something a great man once said to me, a guy that trained me up to be in all the other stuff that I do, the leadership stuff. He said don't criticise, condemn, or complain. It's the easiest thing to do, and we are human. We do it. We do it for various reasons. We criticise because we're insecure. If I see someone that's been on Britain's Got Talent, see a trick that I know is a marketed item, part of me goes, well, that's just a trick you bought at a shop. If someone gave me a marketed item and said I could go on Britain's Got Talent and win and be touring the world and all that at a certain time in my life, I'd have probably done it. You've got to try and empathise and try and understand that people are put in situations where they've got a choice. Yes, they could do their really original stuff, or they could do something that's just going to be a banger, get them on, up their career, and it'll be great. And I'm the first one to sit there and be jealous, to criticise, to kind of go, if there's someone next to me and I found myself doing it, so well, that's just a trick you can buy at a shop. What I'm trying to do more and more and more is to stop it, because it achieves nothing, absolutely nothing. Nobody looks good doing it. Nobody looks kind doing it. Nobody looks compassionate doing it. You just look bitter. And it's something that I've really had to curb. No, I never do it publicly, of course, but I've sat there privately sometimes and got that thing and said those things. And I'm trying to stop that, even internally. It's not a good thing to do. And I think if we can be really compassionate about those other people, even those people we may not think we like online, because most of us only see the other people that we don't like, we only see them online, we only see that tip of the iceberg of their life, and there might be wonderful people that just have this one thing that grates us a little bit. And I think to try and sort of zoom out a bit and go, what, their life could be something that I just have no idea about. And there are people that I watch online and I just seethe inside. I go, God, it's awful. But I'm really trying to nip that in the bud, and if it doesn't affect me, then let people do what they do. And there's the thing again that Stephen Covey talks about, abundance mentality. There are plenty of room for all of us. We don't have to, it's that thing of, oh, he's getting the gigs, oh, I won't get the gigs. There's a lot of people in the world and there's enough gigs for all of us. There aren't that many magicians in the world. We're a small community. That's what I tell myself when I haven't got 28 million subscribers. And as much subscribers as the people that put cat videos on. But we're a small community, we're a lovely community, and I think that if we can really do that thing of just seeing what other people do and accepting it and go, yeah, it isn't what I do, it isn't the way I do it, but that's fine. Except if you're making stupid videos exposing magic tricks with fake responses, that's it. You can complain at that. But even that, right? I watched the thing the other day that somebody shared on Facebook, and it was, who was it? I don't know. Someone, I can't remember who it was. The exposure stuff on someone exposing the box thing, and the illusion, and doing these awful fake responses. Where they set up the pranks, and they're clearly not pranks, and they not even look like they're even close to being real pranks. And I hate them because people like my son think they're real, and I try and say to him, look, you got, and it's killing magic. I think it really is killing magic. So you can complain at that, but even then, I think that's done. It's out there. So don't get angry about it. If you want to do something about it, yes, send feedback. Try and maybe stop that exposure in some way, but try not to let it twist you up. And I think for me, it's kind of laughing at it, but actually going, I'm not happy about that thing. So there you are. So let's try, in no particular order, because I've forgotten the order. Be fearless. All right. Learn to stop those negative thoughts when you go into stuff. If you get a trick wrong, you get a trick wrong. Nobody dies. We're not brain surgeons. Concentrate only on what you can control. Life will be a lot nicer. Do the work. Understand that some of your magic practice is going to be tedious and boring. Treat it as work. Just get it done, but you will get to a better place because of it. Always question advice in a friendly way. Be flexible. Okay, understand that play, explore, try and find joy in the things you may not know you'd find joy in. I've realised I enjoy doing jigsaws. Jesus. And don't criticise, condemn, or complain. Imagine if nobody did that. Imagine what a lovely community this would be. And it is a lovely community. So let's see. Can't buy any more books, but Andy's book is on my wish list. Yeah, I know. That's one of my other things. Don't buy any more books. Hi from France. How you doing? Nice to see you, Matthew, or Matthew. I think that's how you say it. Sam, how you doing? Viper Gamer. Hi. Nicholas Peru. Hi, Steve. How you doing, mate? Peru, I think you say it like that. Justin Flom videos. There you go. Mario, that's who I was talking about. Yeah, I don't know if they've been deleted, actually. Hopefully. I do, and that's when I think, when I say don't complain, I think, put a comment on saying this isn't right. That's not complaining. That's actually giving someone feedback and saying, I'm trying to create change. That's different. I'm on about that kind of just complaining for the sake of complaining stuff. So I think it's a really valid point. Okay, so if there's no more questions or comments, I'll leave a couple of seconds now because there is a delay between me and you a little bit. But thanks for listening. I know it's a bit of a ramble, but as I said, Happy New Year. Thanks for your support. And it means the world to me. There's a lot of people doing stuff. So one new subscriber is something I don't take for granted. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. If you want to share this, it would make a huge difference. If one person shares this on Facebook, it just makes a big difference. And I'd like to say also, Magic Orthodoxy, David from Magic Orthodoxy, has given me some big shout outs this year, and I always forget to to say it in the sort of blind panic of when I'm recording something, and that's a really lovely thing to do. So obviously, for David's reviews on Magic Orthodoxy are great. Huge respect to him, and huge thanks to him as well. And do remember to check out all other review channels. It's abundance mentality. The more the better. The more differing opinions you get, the better. So Happy New Year, everybody. Thanks for video. Happy New Year. Thank you all. I'm just going to try and find my button. There you go. Well, listen, take care. Have a great one. Be kind to each other, and let's have a good 2021. Even with the challenges, we'll get through it. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.